service to all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Damodar Prabhuji and Atma Maya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. We're extremely fortunate to have His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji will be enlightening us by walking us through Srimad Bhagavatam 4.28.21. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you there on the call? Hare Krishna Kamal Lochan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Lalitanji Mataji. Can you connect Prabhuji? Lalitanji
Yes, Mataji, yes. I'll connect you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, are you there? Kamal Lochan Prabhu, are you there?
We cannot hear Mataji.
Yeah, I just know I connected and let me go back. Krishna Prabhuji. Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You're able to hear Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mother. Yeah.
Yeah, Mataji, are you able to hear Prabhu?
Yes.
Mataji, we
Krishna.
can hear.
Yeah, it is little low, Prabhuji. Maybe.
Hare Krishna, you're able to hear now?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's clear.
Hare Bol. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, we can hear
You're
you.
able to hear?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's
Yeah, yeah.
clear.
You can
So
start.
Hare Krishna, Kamal Lochan Prabhuji. Then with Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, your valuable time and association this morning. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the call to you now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We can hear you, Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhatreshu नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति।
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Are you able to hear Mataji?
No, Mataji.
Oh. This is what's happening. His call is dropping. Let me try again. Or maybe I think I should just... Can you number? Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Ji?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Mataji, I given one more number. You can call on that number because there's a lot of problem here because there's a big storm here, so there's some problem with the net and the connection.
So
Other number is working properly.
okay, so you have given the number to Shamagori Mataji?
Yes, and I sent a message to her also.
Okay.
But somehow she is not seeing that thing.
Oh, okay.
I just now when WhatsApp call came, I sent number to that also.
Okay, can you give me that number again, Prabhuji? I'm sorry.
Number is 63699.
63699.
91 and all. 91
91
836 no 15477 83699 15477.
Okay, Prabhuji. I'll call you in that number now. Krishna Mataji? Shamagori Mataji?
We can hear you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji, can you speak now?
Yeah, I can speak English.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 28, Text number 21. Katam no Tarakah Deenah Tarakaihi Tarakihi Swa Aparayanaha तिष्यन्ते मयि गते भिन्ना नावः उदधौ कथं नो दारकादीना तारकेर्वापरायणाः भरिष्यन्ते मयि गते भिन्ननावा इवोदधौ कथं नो दारकादीना तारकीवापरायणाः वर्तिष्यन्ते मयि गते भिन्ननावा इवोदधौ कथं नो दारकादीना तारकेवापरायणाः वर्तिष्यन्ते मयि गते भिन्ननावा इवोदधौ. Word to word meaning. Katham, how. No, indeed. Darakaha, sons. Deenaha, poor. Daraki, daughters. Va, or. Aparayanaha, having no one else to depend on. Vartishyante, will live. Mai, when. Gate, gone from this world. Inna, broken. Navaha, boat. Iva, like. Udado, in the ocean. Translation and purport by His Joint Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. King Puranjana continued worrying, after I pass from this world, how will my sons and daughters, who are now fully dependent on me, live and continue their lives? Their position will be similar to the passenger aboard a ship wrecked in the midst of the ocean. Purport. At the time of death, every living entity worries about what will happen to his wife and children. Similarly, a politician also worries about what will happen to his country or his political party. Unless one is fully Krishna conscious, he has to accept a body in the next life according to his particular status of consciousness. Since Puranjana is thinking of his wife and children and is overly engrossed in thoughts of his wife, he will accept the body for a moment. Similarly, a politician or so-called nationalist who is inordinately attached to the land of his birth will certainly be reborn the same land after ending his political career. One's next life will also be affected by the acts one performs during this life. Sometimes politicians act almost sinfully for their own sense gratification. It is not unusual for a politician to kill the opposing party. Even though a politician may be allowed to take birth in his so-called homeland, he still has to undergo suffering due to his sinful activity in his previous life. The science of transmigration is completely unknown to the modern scientists. So-called scientists do not like to bother with these things because if they at all consider this subtle subject matter and the problem of life, they will see that their future is very dark. Thus, they try to avoid considering the future and continue activity in the name of social, political, and national necessity. Otyadvirandasya jnananjana shalakaya Chikshurormilitam Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamai Dadati Swapadastika Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Guru Maishtamamsya Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahadana Raguna Sanditam Satsadiva Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sadhanata Shikshakanta. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagalpati Gopesh Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanusute Devi Pranamami Aditye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The story of Puranjana is continuing. Now, in the past few verses, we know that how Puranjana is now become old, and death has become imminent for him. Death has come very close to him. At that time, he was very much living like a very religious person. So, just because somebody is religious, that doesn't mean he has conquered the fear of death. Actually, the more religious you are, the more fear is there from death. Because religiosity springs from the platform mode of goodness. Since it springs from the platform mode of goodness, there is more awareness of death. Like if somebody is in the body of a goat, there are all goats which are lying in line, and a butcher comes and kills one goat. The other goat is not bothered about it. The other goat is not very much affected by it, because it is so much into ignorance that it doesn't bother what's going to happen to me. I'm also going to die. It doesn't bother. Like if somebody is in mode of goodness, when they see somebody dying, somebody miserable, they also feel, because they have got sentiments and emotions in mode of goodness, and they also perceive, oh, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. But person in mode of ignorance, those who are engrossed in sinful activities, too much in sinful activities, they are so much into ignorance, they don't even have the sensitivity to realize that I'm also going to die. Now, in this chapter, Purajana has lived a dharmic life again. If you remember, 26th chapter, Purajana lives a dharmic life, a religious life, with his own wife, that is intelligence. And then the 27th chapter, Purajana goes out to the city and tries to live a dharmic life, a life full of sinful activity, trying to find somebody, other wife, other than his own wife, other women. Then he realizes that, and he comes back, and then he meets his wife and depends for all the things what he has done, and then rejoins his wife and lives a dharmic life. That is, the intelligence is actually compared, the queen is compared to the intelligence. But now there is a small twist from the text number 18 onwards, where Puranjana start thinking, Lokantaram gatavati mayena kutumbi vartishyet katam tesha balakan manusochati. Puranjana was very anxiously thinking, oh, my wife, and we have so many children. What is going to happen to me when I pass away from this body? How will she be able to maintain her own family members, my family members? She'll be harassed by some people and harassed by the thoughts of her own maintenance. How am I going to maintain myself in this way? She must be very much in anxiety. Puranjana, then he starts thinking about the past dealings with his wife, how she was so nicely dealing with him. Now there are two opinions here. Now, the wife which has been described for all these verses is actually the intelligence. Now, the wife which is described from the past 18th verse onwards is actually the real wife, not the intelligence. This is one opinion. Another opinion is no. Puranjana is thinking of giving up his intelligence and after death trying to get another intelligence. But the first opinion that is more relevant for these verses, that Puranjana is actually thinking of his own wife, not the intelligence, not the wife which is compared to intelligence, or not the intelligence which is compared to wife. So this wife regarding whom he is thinking is a real wife but not the intelligence. That has to be kept in mind. Now, it is very natural for a person who is very much attached to his family to think of their welfare even after he leaves the body. This is called religiosity. Religiosity means you know there is a next birth, but you don't know that you know there's death, you know there's next birth also, but you don't know the actual nature of the soul. There is some idea of the soul, but the soul is that of the idea of the soul is that of the subtle body. They have no pure understanding of the soul, especially those who are thinking of accumulating pious activities so that they can enjoy in the heavenly planets, or it is at least enjoy in the future. So this kind of thought process of people is a typical nature of a person who is engrossed in religiosity. So one who is sinful is not bothered about next life. He's not bothered even about death. They're more of ignorance. Like sometimes we see some people, they take so much of risk, driving a motorbike at very high speed and they fall into an accident. Or they try to do some adventures and they risk their life and then die. So they are ignorant of even ignorant of their own death. And they're not bothered about it. And they're not bothered about any of their dependents. So now, since Puranjana is acting as a religious person, definitely is bothered about his family members. He is very much in anxiety about family members. In one sense, it is good from the religious point of view. At least he is bothered about his family members, wife and children. These days, you have people who are not even bothered about them. They say, you get lost. They'll tell the wife, want to stay with me, stay with me, get lost. They tell the children, okay, fine, whatever I've done, now you take care of yourself. I heard in America with the children of 14 or 15, they just walk out of their house and they have no dealings with their family. Neither the parents got bothered about what's going to happen to the children. So this is how this materialistic, grossly materialistic life with so much of ignorance, mode of ignorance, live their life. But a person in mode of goodness, he's religious, he's definitely bothered about his wife, and he's very much concerned about her future, and also very much attached to, because of all her loving dealings which he had with her. That is why you would think at the time, oh, she's so good, and whenever I scolded her, she just tolerated it. And she would actually wait till the time I would eat. She would wait till the time I would take bath. In this way, he goes on thinking about his wife. Puranjana continues his thinking. Whenever he was in bewilderment, then wife came and gave a good counsel to him. So wife is actually known as Dharma Patni, and she would come and tell, okay, don't worry, God is there, something like that she would say, and counsel him. And not only that, whenever wife, he would be in some trouble, then she would come, like a hero. She would come and then pacify him. Sometimes it would so happen that she would be in this person would be in a big problem. and she would take care of household affairs. So this is how he was so much attached to his wife. But what happened in this verse? This attachment led to such a situation where Puranjana, he started worrying that when I pass away from this world, how will my sons and daughters, and who are totally dependent on me, live and continue their lives? Their position will be similar to that of the passenger aboard a ship wrecked in the midst of ocean. So this is the problem with being religious. That is, you think that you are the controller. And it is because of me everything is happening. Aham mama iti ajnana. Srila Prabhupada used to say, golden chain or a silver chain or an iron chain. Chain is a chain. So Puranjana is now bound by a golden chain. So this golden chain is going to affect him. Though it may be golden, it seems to be very wonderful. But he's very much concerned and bothered about his wife and children. And now because of these emotions which people have towards their family members, the insurance companies, they're thriving like anything. They say, just imagine when you are not there, what's going to happen to your wife? The landlord is going to come and kick her out, and she's going to be on the roads with your children. The children will be kicked out of the school. And just imagine what's going to be their situation. And people would come and exploit them. They'll be crying. And for that sake, you require to give money to them when you are not there. Anything can happen to anybody anytime. You may die, so your children will be happy, even if you die. Your wife will be happy, even if you die, if they got money. Ultimately, you are there to give money to them. So why don't you take this insurance policy? And this person, he takes insurance policy. And they would also say, what to speak of your wife and children getting benefit after you die? Even now also they get the benefit by you getting income tax exemption. So if you apply for insurance, then you get income tax benefit. Actually, it is not a good return. Any businessman would say that you investing in insurance is not a good investment. You don't get good returns. But still this person, he invests in an insurance company. He pays the monthly or the quarterly premium and then insures his life that when I am going to die, my wife and children get the money. Not only that, now these days the corona has come. Now the people have invented another corona insurance, health insurance. So many insurances are just because based on exploiting the emotions which people have, attachments they have for their family members. So it's not even a raw exploitation of their sentiments to family members. Definitely, everybody has some attachment to wife and children or to the husband. But now, there's nothing wrong in having attachments. Especially mother should have attachment with the child. Then only she'll be able to nourish. But the problem is when you think that I am their Lord, how are they going to continue their life without me? It is because of me they are able to sustain their life. It is because of me they are living. Otherwise, where will they get the food from? Actually, when living entity forgets that Krishna is the ultimate sustainer. Krishna is the ultimate maintainer. He starts thinking that I am the maintainer. It is because of me the whole family is being maintained. So he forgets that Krishna is a controller and Krishna is a maintainer. Mani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat praliyanta visham vishanti, tad brahma tad vijnasa swat. So there the spirituality starts. When a person starts thinking or inquiring about the absolute truth, atato brahma jigyasa. From now, since you are a human form of life, you start inquiring about Brahman. And what is that Brahman? Janmabhyastataha, by whom everything is born, by whom everything is maintained, and by whom everything is destroyed. This is the definition of the word Brahman, the Supreme Lord. Now, when a person forgets the definition of God and he just thinks of some imaginary God who is a kind of a bank, then he becomes a karmakandi or karmimamsa philosopher or religious person. Religious person means one who accepts the karmimamsa philosophy. According to karmimamsa philosophy, there is one God called Apurva. He is not the actual God. Though may say God, oh God, God, and all they say, but they believe in an existence of the God called Apurva, who is like a bank. You deposit and you have credits, you withdraw and you have debit. So that is called punya and papa. So they get entangled into this punya and papa and then think that God is only just a bank where I deposit the punya and I remove the deposits, and there will be reduction in my punya and increase in papa. He's only a bank manager, that's all. But the real controller, the real enjoyer, and the real maintainer of this world is me. Because I am the person who is doing this karma. So much attachment to karma gives you a mentality to think that I am the maintainer. I am the maintainer. Without me, nothing is going to happen. It is because of me. Ganga is flowing. Just imagine, somebody swimming in Ganga. And then he's thinking, actually it is because of me Ganga is flowing. No, Ganga is not flowing because of you swimming. You are able to swim because Ganga is flowing. So, this illusion that I am the maintainer springs out from the consciousness of a person who is on the platform of religiosity and who has got stuck up in the mode of goodness, platform mode of goodness. That is why many times in the books of Srila Prabhupada you'll find that you may be very exaltedly positioned in the mode of goodness in this world. Maybe all religious activities you may be performing very nicely. All the pious activities you are performing nicely. But still, that is not enough because that is also ignorance. Goodness is also ignorance. Passion is also ignorance. Ignorance is also ignorance. So when somebody has no perfect understanding of Brahman, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, he is still stuck up in his consciousness of matter. And I am matter. I am the maintainer of matter. So this is how a person, especially a devotee, should understand that Krishna is the maintainer. Krishna maintains me, and Krishna is maintaining everyone in this world. Understanding Krishna is the maintainer, that is one of the subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 10 subject matters of Bhagavatam, you have 2 subject matters which are pertaining to the maintenance of Krishna. Minimum 2. There are actually 5. The Atra Sargo Visargasya Sthana, that is the 3rd subject matter. Poshana. Poshana is actually maintenance. The other subject matter. These 2 subject matters are pertaining to Krishna being the maintainer of this world. Now, why there are 2 kinds of maintenance described in Srimad Bhagavatam? It is because one kind of maintenance is the material maintenance in this world. That is Krishna trying to give, or we are getting water, we're getting food, we're getting all the things which are required for our maintenance of this body. That is called the material maintenance. Krishna arranges this material maintenance. And apart from that, there is one more maintenance called Poshana, and that is called spiritual maintenance. That's how Krishna maintains every one of us on the spiritual platform. This is called the spiritual maintenance. Now, here we find Puranjana. He's replacing himself with Krishna. He is replacing himself with Krishna and thinking that I am God. I am the maintainer. Now, how to maintain this consciousness that I am not the maintainer, at the same time think or have a perfect understanding that Krishna is the maintainer. I am not the maintainer, Krishna is the maintainer, and I still have to maintain my household affairs. How to have this consciousness? We can have this consciousness only when we understand this very important aspect of philosophy, that whatever I am doing is not done by me. It is actually Krishna getting done through me. I am only a nimitta. Nimitta means I am only an instrument. I am only an instrument in the hand of Krishna. So, being instrument, I am doing it. It is actually, I am not done by me. It seems that as if I am doing it for others. It seems to me also that I am doing it, but actually I am not doing. It is not that I am maintaining a wife. Though it seems to be that I am doing, I am maintaining. It seems to be to others and to myself that I am maintaining my wife and children. It is not me who is maintaining my wife and children. It is Krishna who is maintaining me through me, maintaining them through me. So this kartrutva, doership, is actually ignorance. The perfect understanding of doership should be understood by all the devotees. If we don't have the perfect understanding of doership, who is the doer? Is the subject matter in Bhagavad Gita. Who is the doer? Is Krishna the doer? Am I the doer? Are the material modes the doer? So since Janmashtami, just now recently we celebrated, in one of the pastimes, that is Govardhan Leela, Krishna and Nanda Maharaj, they have a nice discussion regarding the subject. We know Krishna just now delivered the Brahmana's wife, and he is seeing that Nanda Maharaj and all his brothers, Nanda Maharaj's brothers, that is Krishna uncle, Nanda, Upananda, Nanda and all, they are preparing for a big sacrifice. When they are preparing for a big sacrifice, Krishna, he went to ask Nanda Maharaj, Father, my dear father, what are you doing? Who is this sacrifice meant for? Then Nanda Maharaj just neglected this boy, Krishna, small boy. What did he know? How do you understand? But still, Krishna, he started asking questions to Nanda Maharaj. Oh, my dear father, you are just thinking that I am a small boy, I cannot understand it. I am going to ask you further questions. The further questions are like this. If you don't know why you are doing this sacrifice, then if you don't know the purpose for whom you are doing this sacrifice, then actually it is useless. Any activity done without a proper understanding for the purpose of doing that particular sacrifice, then that is useless. So then Nanda Maharaj told Krishna that, my dear son, it is our tradition that we do sacrifice to Indra. We are Vaishyas and we are dependent on agriculture. Indra sends rain. Then because Indra sends rain, and it is Indra who is sending rain, and because of the rain we get the rain, and because of this we are maintaining our life, so Indra maintains us. So Krishna had an argument. Oh Nanda Maharaj, actually it is not Indra who is maintaining you. He is just doing his duty, that's all. Not only that, he uses Sankhya philosophy. Because according to mode of ignorance, goodness, passion, ignorance, the modes are working on its own independently. The mode of goodness maintains, the mode of passion creates, and the mode of ignorance destroys. So what is the role of Indra here? Indra is just a puppet. In this way, Krishna establishes the principle that The maintenance actually is done by the Supreme Lord, by the will of the Supreme Lord. Now, in the Upanishads also, when Brahman, who is Brahman, has been asked, when you see Taittiriya Upanishad, that is the Bhrugu Valli part of it, Bhrugo Vai Varunihi, Bhrugo Vai Varunihi. Bhrugu went to Varuni, Sagar, and he asked, my dear father, please tell me what is Brahman. So the father says, my dear son, if you want to know what is Brahman, it is better that you go to the forest and perform tapasya. Because it is only by tapasya that you are able to know, you are able to get knowledge. So you go and perform tapasya. So then Bhrigu went to the forest and he started doing tapasya. He started doing tapasya. He wanted to know, inquire, Brahman. Tato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat pralayanta vishanti tad brahma tadvigyasasvat. So, I want to know from where everything comes from, by whom everything is maintained, and after being maintained, into whom everything is destroyed and enters into. So, tad brahmeti sa tapo tapyata sa tapo taptva, and we go and do tapasya. And Bhrigu went and understood. He did a big research in the forest. He saw that every animal is living because of food, eating food. And because of eating food, they are giving birth. Creation is happening because of food. Maintenance is happening because of food. And ultimately, the animal becomes a food for another animal. Ultimately, it becomes food. So, food is everything. He realized food is Brahman. So, this is the first realization of Brahman. That is, you realize God in food. In the further description of this Upanishad, it says, Ahamannam, Ahamannam, Ahamannado, Ahamannadaha. So, this is called Annamaya consciousness, where you think that I live for food, and I live by food, and I become food. So, for me, everything is food. So, a person, though he is in mode of goodness, he starts thinking, Papi pet ka sawal hai, people think. And it is because of food I am living. And I give food to my wife and children. That is why I am maintaining them. So I become the maintainer. So at the platform of Annamaya consciousness, a person falls down to such a level that he thinks that I am the maintainer, I am God. He totally forgets there is something beyond Anna. So then he comes back and then says, oh, I understood. Annam brahmeti vijanat, anna devi kalvimani bhutani jayanti, annena jatani jivanti, annena prayanta vishanti, tad jigyasva. Then he says, oh, wrong. Though there is food, why animals are dying? Now here is a question. Puranjana is thinking that I am the protector of my wife and children. Suppose, if you are the protector of your wife and children, you yourself require protection. What is the use of you giving protection? How can you give protection at all? Actually, nobody can give protection to anybody in this world. Even by living, nor while after you die. Now, Puranjana is thinking, what is going to happen to them after my death? Well, even if you are living, is it that they don't die? They will die. Your child may die, your wife may die. So simple logic is lost. But still a person thinks, I am the maintainer, I am the controller. Then Anna, go again. Punare varunam pitaram mukasara adiye bhagavato brahmeti brahmo vacha tapo brahma vijigyasaswad. Go do tapasya and try to realize Brahman. Tapo Brahmeti, when he goes. Tapas tattva, then he just goes to the forest again, then tapasya. Then he understands, oh, I understood. Pranam Brahmeti Janat. Understood now, prana is the life air, is the real Brahman. Because it is the life air which is maintaining. That is why when somebody dies, we say, hey, life air went away. So I'm just saying all these things just to bring you to the understanding that when somebody forgets Krishna as a maintainer, he lands up into different concepts of the levels of maintenance in this world. That is Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, or Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, ultimately Anandamaya. What maintains us is Ananda. That is why Anandamaya Abhyasat, Krishna is Ananda. Till we come to the conclusion that Krishna is my maintainer, till then our consciousness is contaminated by matter. Krishna is not only my maintainer, he is the maintainer of everyone in this world. Right from an ant, Krishna maintains till Brahma. Everyone is totally 100% maintained by Krishna. Both material and spiritual. The very fact that we're able to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we're able to hear Bhagavatham, understand a little bit of do some spiritual activity, is because of Krishna. Our heart, spirituality is maintained. It is because of Krishna. And our body is maintained because of Krishna. Just imagine, the wife may cook nice food, and you may nicely chew it and eat it and enjoy the taste. After it goes to the stomach, who is digesting the food? It is Krishna who is digesting the food. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashitaha Pranapana Samayuktaha Pasamyatnam Chitarvidam. Who is digesting the food? It is Krishna who is digesting the food. So being Krishna conscious means to think that Krishna is the maintainer. To be completely dependent on Krishna even for our material maintenance, that is called surrender. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, while giving commentary, and also Srila Vedanta Deshika giving a commentary on the Shadvida Sharanagati, it says, Gotrutve Varanam Data Aptanikshepakar Shadvida Sharanagati. So, to be completely dependent on Krishna even for one's own spiritual and material maintenance, that is called surrender. That is the soul purpose, the soul of surrender, the process of surrender. Now, actually, who is going to maintain me? Who is going to maintain my wife? Who is going to maintain my children? That is the biggest block for a person to surrender to Krishna. Till we actually overcome this block, we will be stuck in all the practice of devotional services, but yet would not surrender to Krishna and attain love of Krishna. If somebody really wants to attain love of Krishna, while doing all the practices of devotional service, one has to overcome this big block, a big obstacle. The obstacle is not outside, it is in our consciousness. What is the obstacle? What is going to happen to me? What is going to happen to me? What is going to happen to my wife? What is going to happen to my children? So let me have some money here. Or let me have something there, something here. It is not easy. It is not easy to overcome this block which is there in our consciousness. That is, who is going to maintain me? What's going to happen to me in my old age? What's going to happen to me? I just only have $10,000 with me. One devotee was telling me, Oji, I just want to secure my life. Once I secure my life, I want to work for 2-3 more years, make money, keep it in the bank, secure my life. They are smiling at him. He goes, why are you smiling? I told, I want to ask you one question. How much money in your bank can give you security? How much property and how much fixed income per month can give you security? He told me, Prabhuji, just 2 crore rupees. If I put 2 crore rupees in the bank, I'm sure I'm going to get one crore minimum. And if I'm going to put this in mutual funds, oh, I got a devotee who is very expert in that. He told me he's going to get 2 lakh rupees a month for me if I give 2 crores to him in mutual fund. And so, okay, then I spoke about something here. Again, saying that if you wanted to say how much you require to secure your life and so that you can just travel with me and then just hear Bhagavatham every day, just do some service and be totally engrossed in Krishna consciousness. And then just maybe 2-3 crores are enough. Then I told you just said 2 crores are enough. Where did this 2-3 came from? Within 5 minutes, the 2 crores become 3 crores. Nobody can actually guarantee to oneself. Don't try to even practically implement it. To convince yourself how much is enough. How much is enough? If you're able to answer this one question, oh, great self-realization. Great self-realization. That is why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given a suggestion. As long as you are not understood that Krishna is my maintainer, till that time, just accept as much as your mind would give you satisfaction. This is enough. Accept it. Otherwise, you will not be able to even perform ordinary, regular devotional activities. Otherwise, you find when a devotee or family loses a job or some business, their devotion get affected because they are not convinced that Krishna is their maintainer. One devotee told me, what's going to happen to me? I don't know. I lost my job in Corona. I said, what happened to you? Is there any problem to you? Yes, Prabhuji, how I'm going to live? I told all these years you worked hard, isn't it? Yes, Prabhuji, I've not worked hard. How much money you have in the bank? He said, just Prabhuji, I got only 1 crore rupees. I don't know what's going to happen. Just see. He has 1 crore rupees in his bank. And he's so worried, so much of anxiety. He has only 1 wife and 1 child. He has his own house. Chanting 16 rounds initiated. Just because he lost his job. And he just only have 1 crore rupees. What is this? Because the reason he is trying to take shelter in that 1 crore rupees which is held in the bank. He is not taking shelter of Krishna. So, I'll tell you a story of Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami, the great author of Srimad Bhagavatham. So he was just contemplating on how to take sannyas. Then he thought, I have only 1 wife, let me give some bequest, then let me give a child to her. So she became pregnant. Then Sridhar Swami thought, let me just leave now because now she is carrying a child, and once the child is gone, she and her child, when the child grows up, she is strong and healthy, she will take care of the child, and the child grows up, the child will take care of the mother. Then what happened? The thought came to his mind, what if the child is a baby girl, not a boy? The girl gets married, and who's going to take care of my wife? And he waited for some time just to see whether it's a baby boy or a baby girl. The wife delivered. And she delivered a baby boy. He was so happy. But he saw the mother and his wife, she delivered the baby and she died. Just imagine, the body of the mother is there and the baby is crying, small baby. Sridhar Swami, he folded his hands to the Lord. Oh Lord, just give me one indication. Just give me one indication that's enough for me. That you are the maintainer. And Sridhar Swami saw there's a lizard. A baby lizard, just born maybe. It has just stuck onto the wall. In India, we find a lot of lizards. I can see one lizard in Nashville, running here. Then what happened? The baby lizard was just there, and one small mosquito flying, just came and sat in front of the lizard's mouth. This baby lizard just extended its tongue and then got the mosquito inside. Sridhar Swami smiled at Krishna. Oh Krishna, you have taught me a good lesson. When a baby lizard doesn't even know where to hunt, what to go, when you are able to feed the baby lizard, can't you not feed this baby who is born in a human body? And the father has taken sannyas. I am going to go and take sannyas and write the commentary on Bhagavatam. Can't he not take care of you? Vishakal verses, Lokasya Sanapamodakaro Dasasya Kim Nakshama. The Lord maintains the entire world. Then what to speak of Dasasya Kim Nakshama? Don't you think he can maintain us? Maintain devotees. He maintain. So, there may be hundreds and hundreds of devotees. Among those, very few, one or two will become nirapeksha. That means they have 100% dependence on Krishna, both for material and spiritual maintenance. They are just not bothered what's going to happen to me tomorrow. So those nirapeksha bhaktas are very, very rare. Very, very rare. We cannot imitate those nirapeksha bhaktas. At least one day, that stage should come where we are totally dependent on Krishna. That the consciousness, we have to prepare our consciousness in such a way, is a major hurdle for devotees surrendering to Krishna. My security, what's going to happen to me? Yugakshemam vahami aham. Krishna is my maintainer. Yesham satyuttanam bhasitam pritipurvakam tadana uddyogantam peace enma upyanti. He gives buddhi yoga by which you can come back in spiritual maintenance. At the same time, people are completely thinking that when I am going to be successful, maintain myself. So this is how Krishna is the maintainer. That has to be understood. Hare Krishna. Let's stop here. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the very, very interesting class. Prabhuji, I have a question. You were talking about very nicely about Annamaya, Pranamaya, and so on. And then you also made a point that ultimately even the Upanishads, the Vedanta Sutras, they say Anandamaya Upyashat. So, and also after that you were speaking about the maintainer, Krishna is the ultimate maintainer of both the body and the soul and the real meaning of Gopatritve. So my question is, when we say that Anandamaya Bhyasha, then that Ananda, the soul that is, it is the soul only that is experiencing Ananda from Krishna. Is that the actual maintainer of both the body and the soul? I mean, I'm just trying to connect them together. Can you?
Yes.
Okay, even the body.
At the level of Anandamaya platform, and the level of Anandamaya platform, there is no distinction between matter and spirit, because there is complete realization of the absolute truth. So at that level, like we are at the level of Raghunath Das Goswami, he just used to drink a little bit of buttermilk every 3 days. And one day, Raghunath Das Goswami had a stomachache. Then the villagers called the doctor. And the doctor tested Raghunath Das Goswami and told everyone that Raghunath Das Goswami had a big feast and his stomach is upset. So now they told, we never saw him eating anything. He just takes chas 3 days a week, once in 3 days. So Raghunath Das Goswami told others, what the doctor is saying is true. Yesterday there was a big feast in the spiritual world and I ate it so much. So at the level of Anandamaya, there is no distinction between matter and spirit. So there is no material maintenance, spiritual maintenance, only maintenance, that's all.
Very nice, Prabhu. Very, very nice. And also the example of the lizard and Sridhar Swami, that was also very interesting to note. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and association. Actually, I always had this question about, yes, physically, whoever is fit, they are able to maintain. But then there are people who may not be mentally fit, meaning like mentally deranged or something like that. If they were alone, how they would be maintained. But it appears that Krishna will take care somehow. So I think it's all about the
Yes.
sattar. Yeah. Thank you.
No living entity is born
Mm,
without a place to stay and food to eat.
mm, mm,
That is for sure. Whether devotee or non-devotee, anybody, nobody dies of hunger.
mm.
It is all a hoax. All the charity organizations saying so many people died of hunger is all bogus. People die of eating, not because of hunger.
Yeah, true, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Very, very nice class, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for a very nice class, Prabhuji. This is Vivek here. You nicely explained of the different aspects of how Krishna will maintain us and under any circumstances. You gave really good examples. I have a question. So the question here is, this is just due to my poor understanding, Prabhuji. So Dhruva Maharaj, he went in search of Lord Vishnu, but his motive was not really for self-realization, but for gaining a kingdom that is greater than his father's kingdom. But in that aspect, Dhruva Maharaj was in Satya Yuga, and he didn't really, he didn't really know even how to perform austerities. And then Narad Muni came and instructed him. The question here is, how was that Dhruva Maharaj able to survive? Because it appears though from an external point of view that Krishna was actually maintaining, like how we heard in this class, that Krishna maintains everyone even under a very worse circumstance. But I've also heard that in Satya Yuga, the prana shakti for people in general was on their bones. You don't really have to take food for survival, compared to Kali Yuga where the prana shakti is in food. So how do we understand both what we heard today and Dhruva Maharaj's story? I'm getting confused. Because he didn't really understand, or he didn't really know what austerity was itself in the first place. Does it mean that Krishna was maintaining him, or is it because it was the age that he was present that actually maintained, or he was able to sustain that period of 6 months of austerity?
See, Dhruva Maharaj or any other personality mentioned in the Bhagavatam, they are not ordinary people.
Okay.
These pastimes Krishna manifests and they are recorded in the Bhagavatam to give us a specific teaching or teachings in general. So the whole purpose of Dhruva Maharaj's pastime is one thing, that is Krishna wanted a personality who can show what devotional service in mode of passion would mean, and what happens for a person even though performing devotion mode of passion. When he has darshan, Krishna darshan, the form of Krishna, how all the passion, all the desires go away, and how the person becomes a pure devotee. That is the whole sum and substance of Dhruva Maharaj's pastime. Now, your question is, Dhruva Maharaj was not doing the austerity. Now, it is our assumption that Dhruva Maharaj doesn't know the austerity. It is only our assumption, that's all. There is nothing written about it, that he did not know and he performed or something like that. It was Satyuga, and the people who are born in Satyuga, they are by birth knowing certain things. Like the modern science, like Prabhupada criticized the modern scientists in this verse. I will not go to that subject matter because it will be, they're all devoted audience. So they say birth is the beginning. One boy was arguing. I just took a few boys to a farm. One boy was arguing. There is no previous life. Birth is the beginning. And on the same day, when there was a small calf born to a cow, farm. It was just born, and these boys came. I showed this calf is born. And I just took the calf near the cow. And then this calf is directly going to the udder of the cow and start drinking milk. And I asked him, you try to milk the cow. He could not. The Gwala came and tried to teach him also, still he could not. I told this calf, by birth, has a memory. Where did his memory come from? So, by birth, people are born with certain miraculous memories and instincts, qualities, expertise. We don't know that. This is one part of it. Your question about saying that he was not knowing. No, he must be knowing. Because he is born in Satyuga, and in Satyuga, if you were born, they are extraordinary. Even in this life also, we find that some babies were extraordinary. They were extraordinary. I just saw a children's virtual Janmashtami. A 1.5-year-old baby played the role of Prahalad. Even many were shocked. The way the meditation, the bhava is being expressed, the eyes, oh, you cannot even imagine. So, the previous life is there, and that comes in different. Other part of your question is Krishna maintains. Yes. Krishna maintains, and how he maintains? He maintains everybody in a different way according to his own way. How Krishna maintains, don't try to dictate or how Krishna should maintain. Oh Krishna, you should maintain me like this. No. Krishna maintains his devotees and everyone according to his own sweet will. That is why the gopis say, in the mood of Radharani, in the mood of gopis, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Yatha tatava vidadhatu lampato mat prananakasu sayevanaparaha. You do whatever you want with us. Whatever you want, the way you want to deal with us, deal. Sometimes you embrace us, you want to maintain us by embracing, no problem. You want to maintain us by kicking us out, no problem. In whatever way you want to do, you do, my dear Lord. I know that you are my eternal maintainer, mat prana. Krishna is your prana. It is the prana which maintains. And since Krishna is an independent person, he is Swarat, he has complete 100% his own will in the way he wants to maintain. So don't try to dictate to Krishna the way he should maintain us. He knows better how to maintain us. The 6th canto of Bhagavatham, Krishna maintained Vistasura by killing him, and Krishna maintained Indra by giving him a post. Though externally Vistasura was killed, Indra became the king, he became victorious, got the kingdom. Who is glorified? Vistasura is glorified. Vamana came, and then he cheated Bali Maharaj and gave Indra the kingdom. But ultimately, Bali Maharaj, he knew, oh Lord, it is actually you are actually more merciful to me than Indra. You gave only one stupid heaven to Indra, but you gave me yourself. You became my watchman. So the entire Bhagavatam is actually talking about how Krishna is Swarat, completely independent maintainer. So we don't have to define to Krishna how you should maintain us. Okay. We stop here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
So I got another class now, so please excuse me. We can stop here.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this beautiful class today. I know we are running out of time, but yeah, we are very, very grateful to you and really look forward to having your association again in future. With that, we would like to wrap up this call now. Pancha kalptarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji ki jai. Hare Krishna.